Yeah, it's interesting. I never really thought about firecracker. Yeah, it's like you, Lizard, and Beagle. Who else does firecrackers?
Matters Apps did El Toro.
Matters.
Oh,
That was insane.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you ever want to do it down El Toro?
No, I went to El Toro once, and we already talked about that.
Just to look at it.
Yeah.
No, you did the jump out.
I gotta post that on Instagram, dude. That was insane.
But yeah, that what Matters did, that was just like holy shit. And anyone that knows how to firecracker knows that's fucked up because he made it look like firecrackering was easy, like he was just like standing on it, and it's not. It's violent. It is violent under your feet. It's fucking. I mean, it's loud.
You have to time it out pretty much. It sounds or it looks like you have to go the certain speed, so you're going over each stair like the same amount. I guess.
Walk us through a tutorial on firecrackers.
What size wheel do you
all right. Well, the foot placement it's basically where you want your feet to be, but know that your feet is not going to be in that position the whole time.
Right. Because
it's gonna fucking bounce around.
Yeah.
Where do you?
So find you're comfortable.
Where do you keep it? Where do you initially keep them?
So I'll do back foot a little over the pocket, like on the tail.
Mm-hmm.
So my foot's flat on the tail. And then my front foot is right behind the top bolts.
Gotcha.
So the only thing I can see is the front two bolts. And then when you clack down on your tail, I let my front foot loose. So I let it like jiggle on the board like that. And then
you're keeping most of the pressure on the back.
Yeah. And then you let your foot kind of like not like jiggle around, but just let it do its thing and try and end up back to where your foot was when you started when you're landing. So position, firecracker, let it move around and then land the same position you started doing the firecracker with.
So how fast are you going? What's the speed ratio for like maybe a 6 stair or something, or
6 stair? You don't have to.
You don't have to go.
It depends how you want to do it, because you can, if you want to hit all of them. I don't know. Say there's 5 feet of runway, you would need two pushes.
Okay.
Depends how long the stairs are too, right?
That's
like
true.
how steep they are.
Here's a good way to do it. A good way to judge your firecracker is to know what's the slowest you could ollie those stairs.
Okay.
And that's the speed that you want to firecracker the stair.
Okay.
So when you're ollieing, even though you're hitting your tail on every step, it's for some reason you're gaining speed. Like you're getting you're gaining speed on it.
Gravity's taking you.
Yeah. So any stair you go to, just know the speed that you want is the slowest you can go to ollie it. And that's the basis of the slowest, or you can go faster, because some people skip like 2 or 3 stairs at the top and like land in the middle, which it's still a firecracker. It's just however you want to go. But me, like just thinking, I never thought about it. Like I go as slow as I can ollie the stairs.
That's interesting that you say that some people skip the 2 stop, because I think of it as, when you just ride off a curb and you smack your tail on the curb, bah, and it makes that noise.
Yep.
That's what I think.
I love that.
Well, I mean, it's a curb, It's not, I wouldn't call it a firecracker, It may be a black cat. But it's like boom, you slap, and then you do that initially from the first stair down, all the way down.
But it depends how big the stairs are and how fast you're going. Because if you're going faster, you're gonna skip that next one. And if you do that technique off the how you do it on a curb, don't do that. Because that's a different, because you're just slapping your tail as hard as you can.
Well, no. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying the technique, so to speak, but it's more of just like you're hitting that first stair down, and you're putting pressure on your back foot, and you're all the way down.
For me, the firecracker, the first stair is always the second stair. That's what I base mine off of. So So instead of trying to like scrape down at the top to hit the top one, you're already in position where it's dragging, and then the second step is the first step to a firecracker, and then you just ride that bitch out. Because
I couldn't even imagine connecting 3 or 4 or 5 stairs down. Like, listen, I'm not that big firecracker,
I've done a 10 stair where like I was just having fun because I'm like super comfortable, like in my prime, whatever. But I would go like super fast and see how much I could like just dust off the top, like skim into a firecracker. And that's how I learned, like, that's where like ollie out to firecrackers came. Like, dude, I already fucking missed all these steps and landed into it. So you can do a 10 stair and land the 5th stair down and just firecracker the last 5. It's all how you do it. Like that's why I like firecrackers, because every single, like, if you, Raj, and Kelly went out and did it like to a 4 stair or a 5 stair, you would all have different firecrackers. From the way you land, the way your feet look, just everything about it, the way you're rolling up. Some people carve into it. Some, like, it's the individuality of like that simple little trick. There's a lot of technique that goes into it.
You ever done firecracker?
Not like a lot of, no, maybe like, yeah, maybe a 2 or 3 stair, but like not on purpose. You know what I mean?
Not on purpose.
Like
you've got the ollie.
Like, no, you're like, you skate a spot and then you land, you roll off instead of stairs.
Oh yeah, and you could just happen to hit the tail. Yeah, I couldn't even imagine. El Toro matters. Like,
dude,
do you think you could have done it? El Toro firecracker. That's scary as shit.
I'm gonna own it. I'll say yeah, because I would have done it. I would have tried it till I'd done it. Okay. Like, that's my mentality back then. Like something that I was comfortable with. I would, if I didn't land at that time, I'd be like, I'm going back. Mm-hmm. But it's still, I'd rather ollie it than firecracker it. Straight up. I would rather go there and ollie it and try and ollie it until I landed it than going there and firecracker it.
Well, I was going to say, why didn't you try it there?
Got smoked.
Well, you did get smoked, but...
Because, you know what, back then, when I was doing firecrackers, people fucking hated on that shit. They fucking thought I was, like, corny for doing it.
Yeah.
Like, it was a circus trick. So, like, maybe that fucking... Because what I was doing wasn't fucking...
They're both gnarly.
From a circus trick. And
they're both gnarly.
And they're both kind of fucking, like, kooky little tricks, but I don't know why I never thought of El Toro. I think other people liked my firecrackers more than I like my firecrackers myself. Does that make sense? They always like wanted to see me, and I never really thought about doing, like, taking it to the next level. For me, like, wall rides that was my best feeling trick was wall rides.
Yeah.
Like, I love wall rides.
Huh.
And for firecrackers, I think that was someone like the outside looking in, like, they wanted to see me do that, but that was just like go to fucking one of those tricks in the arsenal.
Right.
Break it out.